Do 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 do. You make me feel. Okay, we are live. Let's see this. We are live. There we go. All right. All right. Let's see what is up with. Let's see what is up with Twitter. Let's see what is up with Twitter. There we go. Bruh. Let's see. All right. We're gonna lock in. Damn, the average player here is almost 29. That's crazy. Bomb. All right, let's see. Some news. I know some news came out for. All right, we have some news I want to look at. Boom, some news. Let's see. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. All right. Let's see. We're gonna go through this too. Let's see. We're also, there's no way Bitcoin halving chart. Damn, 2028. 1,013 days. 1,013 days. Damn, that is a very long time. It's roughly 3 years. Let's see, let's go to news. $200,000 Bitcoin. CNBC Bitcoin to surge to all-time highs above 130,000. Yeah, I want to cover some Bitcoin stuff. I just want to look at some news. Some altcoins and other charts we'll look later, if anything, if we do that. I'm just monitoring this because I am in a trade right now. What's up? What's up, people? What is up? Just monitoring Bitcoin. Gonna be looking at some news, right? I am also in a live trade, so I am looking to see how Bitcoin does perform. We do have a decent amount of breathing room until break even, like a lot. So I do kind of want to catch a huge rally, right? Like when we had this rally over here, it did not look good on the hourly, right? Multiple rejections, multiple wicks. But then you can see we kind of just bursted. And then 5 o'clock we bursted. It is 7 p.m. right now, so maybe we won't get that same type of momentum to have a double top 30-minute candle. Right, none of this looks too convincing, but we did break through and out of this zone. We did. I don't know if I should really look at this trend line necessarily. I mean, we could mark it up, but when you mark up too many trend lines, it does kind of start getting crazy. I only like to mark up the relevant ones, to be honest. What is up, people? What is up? Yeah, let's see. CNBC. Yeah, Bitcoin's prime for a surge to fresh all-time highs above 130,000. You know, global liquidity in July does suggest we could hit roughly 140K, I think. Now, obviously, with the global liquidity stuff, we have been lagging behind a little bit. All right, when we take it, we bring back the indicator and we look, right? We have been lagging behind a little bit. Like these 91 days were perfect, right? The literal top, next week fake out sell off, the bottom, right? Boom, fake out sell off. The thing is with the micro moves technically, right? Because this is a pretty big bottom here. This is a pretty big bottom. So I actually never checked 91 days. So yeah, we could see the pretty big bottom, and then there was two more tops. Let's see the top before we actually just exploded. Boom. Okay, so see, this was technically still like a little bit of retracement, and then it was supposed to sell off aggressively, but it happened like a week. Happened here, right? It happened at the top of this, not necessarily the bottom. So I guess global liquidity, right, when it comes to like the micro moves on the charts, it's not going to be 100% accurate, but from what I see is like the general tops and the bottoms are, right? We have decent accuracy too with this rally up here, right? When we take it from here 91 days, when we take the bottom, right, the last bearish candle was, you know, 2 weeks ago at this point, right? And then yes, we did have this pump, which technically, you know, if we line it up 91 days would have been last week. Although, you know, it kind of did like 50-50. It's kind of 50-50. Right? We did sweep the liquidity. Right? We swept all this, which we kind of expected. We did get a retracement, which kind of expected. We expected probably a little bit higher, to be honest, but it is still, you know, decent. And of course, right now, technically, we are on this point of the global liquidity, right? Boom. And it's this week. So we do expect some decent results this week. And then we go one to the side. Next week should also be still kind of pumping. Like we should still be seeing decent results. When we did line up global liquidity perfectly with the charts, right? Perfectly with the charts, then we did get around 145K Bitcoin in mid-July. Even so, even if the June timing is off, if we still pull off 145K Bitcoin mid-July, then I'm not really too concerned. Not really too concerned. I'd still use the global liquidity index because for the most part, right, we've only been using this in more recent times. Right, we've only been using this in more recent times. Like the reversal we were calling because of how the monthly closed, right? How when March closed like this, I was like, oh yeah, this looks beautiful. When it closed on the 3-month, I was like, yeah, that looks beautiful. All right, and then we called the liquidity sweep of the March bottoms because that's also the 3-month. That's also the weekly. There was also a daily there. And then boom, it's been reversing ever since. So pretty solid. 1 days were perfect, right? The literal top. What do you mean no sound? There's no sound on your end because I just have my stream open and I literally the bottom. You probably hear duplicate sounds. Boom, fake out, sell off. Boom. Yeah. Boom. Yeah. So it's on your end. Gordon suggests there are 3. Okay, let's see. I want to read this. So yeah, we're just been covering some news, some Bitcoin, nothing too crazy. Stream won't be that long. Said I am also in a trade. I am in a trade right now as we speak. So trying to see if I could catch a decent bottom to get some decent reward. Yeah, we do have some decent margin. We just have some decent levels between where I entered and where we are right now before we hit break even, right? This does not look that promising. I might just have to, let's see. I might just have to, right? See, open one. This is, it's on this account. It is on this account. See? I'm up 1.3. All right. Let's see. Now I want to see it if it closes. I want to see this 5-minute candle closes below this one. That's my rule. It does not look good on the higher time frame right now. But just want to see if it closes. If it closes below this, the 5-minute candle, we have 1 minute left. Right, we have 1 minute left. So we'll see. We will see. I'll take a 1-to-2 ratio. Doesn't really bother me. Obviously, I want to snipe a certain entry. But yeah, sometimes in life that just does not happen. Does not happen. Right? Because if we consistently create higher lows on the 5-minute, then we should just be kind of going up. And then my trade is solid. Let's see what this guy says.
And at what point do we see, winter coming again? Because that's been a permanent fixture of this asset class, right? It's gone from 0 or 1,000 to 20, and then back down to 3 or 4, and then up to 50, and then back down to 15, and now up to 110. Like, when does it drop again?
Winter's not coming.
Bro, this is not, the way people talk about it's not random.
We're past that phase. If Bitcoin's not going to 0, it's going to $1 million. And you have all the evidence you need to determine that, right? The President of the United States has determined he supports Bitcoin. The cabinet supports Bitcoin. Scott Bessent supports Bitcoin. Paul Atkins has shown himself to be an enthusiastic believer of Bitcoin and digital assets. Ken Taz at CFTC feels the same way. The banks are going to custody Bitcoin. Bitcoin has gotten through its riskiest period. The accounting has been corrected. There's now only 450 Bitcoin a day available for sale by natural sellers. That's the miners. At this level, that works out to about $50 million of Bitcoin available for sale every day. If that $50 million is bought, then the price has got to move up to find any seller that's price sensitive. Now, if you do the math, you'll actually see the Bitcoin treasury companies by themselves are buying the entire natural supply.
Yeah. BlackRock
and the ETFs are buying another measure of that. And we've got nation state actors coming into the space. So I think when Bitcoin rallies, if it surges to 500,000 or $1 million, then maybe we could talk about it crashing down by $200,000 a coin. But at the current price levels, it only takes $50 million to turn the entire drive shaft of the crypto economy one turn. And you've got the Trump media organization announcing $2.5 billion. You've got GameStop announcing $500 million. You've got my company that's raising billions and billions of dollars. So the writing is on the wall. Bitcoin's moving higher.
Oh, there's a 105K gap at Bitcoin. But yeah, he's not wrong. There is a supply shock coming with Bitcoin, which ultimately is good for us, right? At the end of the day, we are actually running really low of when it comes to Bitcoin on the supply on exchanges. The supply in general is running dry, fairly dry. Right? It is running fairly dry, so we will have that supply shock. That is why I believe, you know, once Bitcoin kind of just escapes this zone it's in, right? This whole area, I believe we're going to really have an aggressive upside, and we probably will get the true Bitcoin breakout like the way we did here, right? We might technically be in this stage right now, right? We might technically be in this stage because we did have a Bitcoin, you know, breakout from 70K to what, like 110, right? And then went back a good amount. So we probably are roughly in this stage, but we can even see when Bitcoin was in this stage, it went from 40K to 65K. So what, it went up what, 65% or something. So if we did go 65% from here, we would be roughly at, you know, just even off the top of my head, like 175K Bitcoin. So yeah, I do expect, you know, huge pumps from Bitcoin, which ultimately will be pumping our altcoins, which is what we care the most about, you know, on this channel, right? Because we mostly have altcoins. I sold all my Bitcoin. I don't know about you guys. I sold all my Bitcoin. I sold everything when it comes to, you know, Bitcoin, Ethereum, and everything, and I put it in altcoins. And then I just been kind of accumulating. I just been very patient, right? Very patient. Just been dollar cost averaging. And yeah, ultimately, I'm looking to be getting, you know, this altcoin season and rally started, right? At the end of the day, we can see Bitcoin dominance is actually kind of shooting down. This is interesting. Bitcoin dominance, will this break structure? If Bitcoin dominance really does break structure, hold up. If Bitcoin dominance breaks structure here and we go back, if we start crashing down to like 60%, 55%, this is going to be the altcoin season, right? We talked about how it might be possible because of the doji candle, right? We did take out the last relevant monthly other than these candles up here. So this may be the start of altcoin season. It may be, right? Now obviously, like, yeah, we do have multiple weeks of weak rejections for buys, and right now, like, the weekly sell is really strong, right? It just pretty much ate up almost 3 candles, and we are technically creating, we have a high and we are creating a lower high, right? But I do need to see a big break. Like, for me, you know, calling the reversal and the start of altcoins doesn't really make sense. Like, there's no real benefit, right? Other than being like, haha, I called it. But I truly did believe already that altcoins are going to be starting to recover starting now. And, you know, they are going to be pumping fairly well, right? In fact, we could actually see it's kind of Bitcoin's a little bit stagnant right now. Bitcoin's a little bit, you know, bleeding out. It is like recovering a little bit in the last 10 minutes. But it's actually altcoins that are just kind of, you know, making some decent moves today, right? And that's just from Bitcoin dominance bleeding out. I asked people in the private community, right? I asked people in the private community if they would just prefer things to start reversing now. Like, let's say we actually didn't top, like, let's say Bitcoin didn't actually pump, right? And actually the transition from Bitcoin to altcoin started now slowly, right? We're not talking about the big 4 to 8 week like aggressive pump, but just like the beginning of it. And a lot of people in the Discord were actually like, yeah, you know what? Like, I would sacrifice certain, you know, like I said, would you sacrifice 20%, right? 20% gains for it to happen way earlier? And people are like, yeah, a lot of people are just mentally done with this, right? Because a lot of people did expect potentially 2024 altcoin season, which that was never on the cards, but I did think altcoins were going to hold generally better. And then a lot of people thought like April, May because of last time. Now we're in June. So I think a lot of people are just starting to just, you know, clock out, man. They're just exhausted. They just want their 5, 6, 7, 10 times 12, 20 times gains, whatever it is, right? Altcoin season does go crazy. So, saying these numbers isn't that crazy. Turbo, 10 to 50 billion market cap when ETH runs. I mean, I agree and disagree. I don't know how big this altcoin season. I don't know how big like everything's gonna be this cycle. Like I want it to be nuclear, right? Don't get me wrong. I want this cycle to be nuclear. We hit like a 12 trillion total market cap, right? We hit a total of like 12 trillion market cap. We're getting a nuclear altcoin season, like gains you have never seen before. Like $10,000 might retire, like not retire you, but make you $1 million, $500,000 type gains. I've been holding Turbo since January 2024. I really need to reap the benefits. Yeah, I understand. I've been holding this coin for so long too. I had the chance to flip. Even though I called out 2 reversals, I didn't necessarily take out any profits because I just stuck to the A to Z mentality, which is just kind of consistently accumulate when it's low and then just sell at the very end. So could have flipped, could have made more bread, to be honest. Wait, let's check Turbo. Let's actually check Turbo right now. You see, Turbo is slowly just climbing and climbing up. Right, we expect this coin to continuously climb up. Right, and it is breaking out, especially on the daily. So it is creating the higher high. This really does remind me of like this, like where we're at right now. This, right? Because when you look, well, excuse me, when you look, you're already getting that like reverse head and shoulders, right? Very similar vibe to here, like reverse head and shoulders. You're getting the head, yeah, the 2 shoulders, right? I mean, you can even count this, right? You got the shoulders, and then it's kind of just slow until it's not, right? Slow until it's not. I mean, to get from to like 10K to 1 million would need a very, first of all, powerful altcoin season. Without, including like too much luck, you would need to. I mean, technically, you could have even done like Turbo, right? If Turbo does, like I'm saying, if there was truly the biggest altcoin season ever, we went to like 12 million market cap, something like Turbo could easily go to like 20, 30 billion market cap, right? And 30 billion market cap would practically be 100x from here. And if you have better entries, right, you already that 100x is, but realistic. But even if you did have better entries, like let's say you got in at 250 million market cap and you still made a 50x if you put in 10K, all you need this coin to go to is like what, like 12.5 billion market cap, right? From 250 million to like 12.5 billion. It's still it's a very like long road. But I mean, it's not impossible if we do experience the biggest altcoin season ever, right? That's the thing. Okay, I'm just gonna close my trade. Yeah, I'm gonna close it. Wait, hold on. I gotta monitor this. I have a live trade. I don't want it to hit break even because that would be very annoying, but there's nothing indicating that we are going to be. Yeah, there's nothing indicating right now as we speak. I mean, the 15 consistent week 15-minute candles. I do just want this to flip. If we were to flip here, this would be very, very nice. Right now, it just shows some short-term bearish momentum. I just don't want to go. I don't want to hit break even on this trade and then it reverses. It's going to be very, very irritating. All right, we did have multiple hours of very weak selling pressure. But like when you look at these 4-hour candles, they look disgusting. They look like disgusting in a bad way. Like there's no like real buying pressure right now. My 2 biggest bags are Caspa and Turbo. I'm betting on them. Yeah, they both should hit. in my opinion. Like, so this is pretty conservative, but they both should hit like a easy, fairly easy like 10x. I know that's not even like crazy. I know a lot of us are aiming for more, and I do believe we will get more, but I'm just saying, like, for me mentally, it's like I'm aiming just for like if I get like a 15x, I'd be like more than happy. Now, obviously, like with Turbo, I believe it could go higher. Right, I bought Caspa fairly cheap, consistently between like 6 cents to 8 cents. So I also like 15x. I do believe it could hit this cycle. Your render, I've been accumulating at really low bottoms. ICP. What else? There's a few other coins that I've been just accumulating, near relevant bottoms, especially like let's say over the last year. Like it's on the cheaper side for prices, and yeah, I really do believe like at the bare minimum, this coin should be hitting like a 10x, probably easily a 15x, that pushing that 20, 25x even boundary for some coins, and I'm just like, I'm all for it, right? So altcoin season happening earlier, I would not complain. Not complain. Let's see, is there any other news? More Ondo X and XRP coming up this month. Ondo, SCO and Ripple president, we on stage discussing real world asset tokenization and institutional DeFi. Let's see, we can see from Watch Guru, US and China agree in principle and framework for new trade deal after 2 days of talks in London. This trade deal. What's up, Mr. Pegleg Wally, eh? I know you and tariffs and trade deals, they hurt your mental a little bit. I know you sometimes get riled up a little bit. I understand. That's the passion. It's a frustration with people, playing mind games all the time. This politician says this politician says that. Greetings from Greece. What is up? What is up, my man? Greece, 100% on the bucket list. I'm telling you, we're going to States in about a week, but after this altcoin season, right? Because in general, I'm looking to lock in. I'm looking not to be distracted, for the next couple of months, a few short months. But I'm telling you, after this altcoin season ends, I mean, we're still obviously going to be taking care of the YouTube channel. We're still going to be live streaming. We're still going to be taking care of the business. But man, let me tell you, some vacation points, some countries, gotta visit those. Because, yeah, so many sacrifices have been made. I'm definitely going to be, there's like moving. I don't know where I'm going to move. I have a few ideas. Vacation. Yeah, I mean, it's I only have like 2 countries I could really move to. I'll either stay in Canada or go to Poland, but yeah, we'll see, man, we'll see. Well, also, hopefully, this is the start of the reverse. We do have a higher low form than the 1 minute, right? When Bitcoin starts indicating actual proper structure shift, it usually starts with the 5 minute. Now we haven't actually technically, like, this is pretty much a double bottom for Bitcoin here. I haven't closed my trade, have I? No, I'm still up. I really just kind of want this very aggressive narrow zone to be broken out of, because I know once we actually, wait, this may have already counted. It's the 1 minute though. Actually, no, this may have counted. Hold up. This is how sometimes I trade. Like, I trade very narrow aggressive trend lines for Bitcoin, and then you notice a little structure shift, and then you just kind of get in. And sometimes it still doesn't give you the most clear picture, so it's like you're kind of in a way prematurely entering it because you don't have the most confirmations. But it doesn't look bad. Yeah, if we're gonna start going above, obviously, like this high, it's gonna look good, and this high, we're gonna be in a clear. We probably will go back up to at least 110K and a little bit more. Probably even just take out this Monday high then, right? I do believe Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, we are going to be running this. I really do I know we're gonna go to 100K. Now, I thought possibly last week, but then with how things really slowed down, I was like, right, global liquidity is being a little bit inaccurate now, a little bit. Right, the tops and the bottoms are still fairly good. We still got to see how mid-July plays out, but yeah. Only islands if you go to Greece. There's like this popular place. I mean, you probably know it's like probably like what's it called, Santorini maybe. Um, have you seen XCN? Actually, I actually have created a video on XCN that's gonna come out in an hour and a half. Is it a bull flag? Is it in a bull flag? And if it is, you believe it will reach what, 5 cents? Too many earthquakes. Damn, yeah, I don't keep up with the news really, unless it's like crypto stuff. Bitcoin is king. Bitcoin is king, but the king is generous sometimes. So we need Bitcoin to be the king. We need Bitcoin to fly, right? We need Bitcoin to fly, and then we need for our generous king Bitcoin to pump some altcoins. So yeah. So yeah, we're monitoring this. You know, this would actually make a huge difference, even if I took out my trade. Even if I took out my trade up here, there's actually a very huge difference for me. Let's see. Let's see. Hold on, let me mark this up on my MT4. Yeah, that's more than double right now than what I'd be. So we're looking for these reversals, gang. Fact, I might be a little. Oh, I can't even do that high of a lot. Dang it. Forgot. I actually forgot. This stupid it's not really that stupid, but the stupid oops. Oh my god, no, I don't want to take profit yet. Sorry, you guys, I'm sorry if your ears are getting wrecked. Sorry. Sorry. There you go. Yeah, we shouldn't really go below this. All right. So I took another trade position. It's much smaller than my initial one. It's smaller by roughly 4 times, but that's because on these platforms they only allow you a certain amount of leverage. Oh my god. The only problem with Bitcoin is there's a gap. There's a stupid gap down here. Not here. Here. Right? But if we start ignoring these gaps and we start flying high, then we probably will just come back here during bear season, right? We have another gap on 92K. Yeah, I still think that the next 2 weeks are fairly bullish. I know they're fairly bullish right now. There's no like real indication that it's not going to be bullish. And also, right, we can see we're also getting some decent pumps now. Is this a little gap though? Oh, this doesn't show me anything. Oh, that's because it's, but you see for those that were here just even a couple minutes ago and that were listening to the structure, right? I said how this is a narrow trend line. We broke out. We had a higher low, right? We have this low here. We had a higher low, and I expected it to go higher, right? It's exactly what happened, because that's why sometimes people clown technical analysis, but I'm like, technical analysis is king. If you get something wrong, it's because you got it wrong, not necessarily because of the analysis. I mean, yeah, I mean, I looked at Nitro and stuff on the last stream, but like in terms of the project itself, I don't really I'm not investing myself because I don't really like investing in too many meme coins. So Nitro is just accumulating. It never hit our purple line, but it did go to 3 point. It did go to the, it went down here, multiple daily rejections. It is actually looking very good. It does look like it is going to pump, even just based off the daily, right? Even just based off the daily. Let's see, I want to check, I know a lot of people are not a fan of this, but I'm going to check actually, I'm going to check base turbo actually. See what base turbo is up to. 1.1. Oh no, never hit myself. Never hit my limit order. This would have been 60%. Oh, whatever. I wanted it like down here. That would have been nice gains. Oh yeah, cat with mask. Cat with mask. This has, I remember this. We were talking about this. Yeah, it was sub 10 million at one point. Now it is consistently creating, I mean, double bottom, higher low, higher low. It is still technically kind of in the range, but it does look like it wants to break. I don't know how aggressively it's going to break. I guess I don't really know much about this coin. There's obviously clearly a trend. I've seen some mask coins, so clearly there's some kind of meta with the masks, but yeah. Come on, Bitcoin. Come on, mate. My first trade position was actually like right here. Stop loss right here. See this? Like literally, it was literally like this. That's why I said we were up a decent amount when we saw this 5-minute candle, but that's why I didn't panic and I said I need to look for the close, right? I need to look for the close. So we are up like a 1 to 2 practically, and now we are up almost a 1 to 3. That's why I was saying if we go back and even take out these highs over here, right? There's a huge difference in profits, huge, right? Almost 2.5 times the actual profits we could have had, just unless, you know, we cashed out down here. That's why I was patient. You just got to be patient. You just got to look at the candle closes. Still not the most aggressive pressure. We are consistently creating higher and higher lows on the 30-minute. The hour, like I said, the hourly looked fairly weak. So if we start pushing, like we could really just overnight and even Wednesday morning, just go potentially back up to all-time highs. That is why I did not close. That is why I did not close. Technically, the daily candle does close like at 5 p.m. for like exchanges and stuff. But kind of like the way gold does, right? If we look at gold, right? It changes on at 5 p.m. for the daily candle. See, it says, see, for Wednesday, it already says new daily candle, but when we go to actual hour, we're still on Tuesday. So I actually did catch a gold sell today too. Caught this at night, not at night, in the morning. Nothing crazy, right? We just took out this candle, just had a limit order, just placed it above this. Saw it sell off, then it sells kind of weak, and I just said, all right, I'm out. Boom. Thank you guys so much for the likes. We have 21 viewers. I know we had some technically viewers are kind of rotating in and out all the time, but you know, we are at 16 likes, 21 viewers. So obviously that looks like a great, fantastic ratio. I know we are also, like I said, some viewers are in and out rotating, but yeah, guys, thank you for the love and support. Thank you for, what is this, emotes, right? We can spam some hearts, some reactions. You know, I love that. You know, we aren't really I guess not explain it. nothing crazy is happening right now, and there's still a lot of support. So it's always nice to see that, you know, even when things are a little bit more laid back and chill, you guys still like to hang out. The hell? Did you guys hear that bird? Dog with hats. What dog with hat? What your target? We can look at it in a second. O'Malley. I'd never heard of O'Malley. I don't know. Was it a meme coin? To hit 1 million this bull run, what's the minimum investment? Well, if you're investing now, and if you're investing in fairly safer altcoins, not like your XRP, not Ethereum, but let's say like your Caspas, your Renders, your ICPs, your ZBEX, your like those types of coins, right? The ones that still have a lot of upside potential, but clearly have a good foundation. Probably like, I'd say like 50K. I mean, 50K is still kind of like, you know, I think if you bought in fairly low with like from 50K invested, there's a good chance you could hit like that $1 million, right? Or those types of coins. Now, even if you got like a 10x, I mean, still 500K. But that is why you're a degen risk taker. But what do you mean by that? Like, so is your portfolio like full of just meme coins and stuff? Because those are high risk, high reward, but it also doesn't mean not necessarily every meme coin is going to pump, right? Not every meme coin is going to necessarily pump right away. See? Whiff. Where did you? What? Did you take it? There's no way you took it from here, though. Talking about, no. That wouldn't even be right. On the 4-hour, fib is hitting 6 point. Well, where did you mark it up from, though? It's got to be this. I just got to change to black. Ha. Yeah, it has to be this because this is literally hitting like this. These are the settings. There's no way. Something like that, right? I like the Fibonacci tool. You know about the other Fibonacci tool though? The one that looks like a nuke? You know what I'm talking about? This? Okay, it's not this. In fact, this is technically better than the nuke. Yeah, the nuke is crazy. So I just sometimes like to see how people trade, right? Because some people, I clicked actually on the live stream yesterday, and this guy instantly within like the first 5 seconds, I knew he pretty much had like my philosophy for trading. Like what he was marking up for zones, I was like, okay, yeah. So we see charts that way. But so one time I came across this guy. Actually, we come across him right now. Oh my god, it looks like, wait, this coin might be trying to break out right now. The mask coin. Fib or Nachi trading. Was it Nachi trading? Was his name like Fibonacci Trading God or something? I don't remember his exact. There we go. This guy. This guy, man. Look at this. Okay, so he would drop some zones and then boom. Nuke. A damn nuke on your screen, bro. And I watched like 4 of these videos. And I was like, this would just go, like I would literally have to rewire my brain to see the markets for the way he sees them. And I was like, yeah, like I love the way I see the markets personally. Like, I'm not saying it's perfect, but I'm just gonna work on, fixing my craft. Like there's nothing Like this is not going to be a net positive for me. In fact, this would really screw up my mental. Is it legit though? I don't know. Supposedly this guy is making consistent money, but the way he kind of, I saw the way he scales is like, if he was looking to buy, let's say even like Bitcoin, right? If he was looking to buy Bitcoin, he would be like doing the smallest of small positions consistently off of the nuke zone. So like, and I'm talking really small, not 1%, not 0.5%, not 0.10%, but like really small, right? Where he'll just be like consistently buying, like whatever the nuke said, whatever those lines said, he would be consistently buying there, right? And then eventually it scales up because he has so many positions, right? He's doing constantly like 0.10 position, 0.10 size, right? So maybe 0.1%. And he's just consistently, you know, scaling up. And then eventually that leads to whatever, you know, a couple thousand for him. But yeah, man, like I don't, this is too much. Happy, amazing mate. Happy that you found the golden goose. Confidence that the video is 6:18 long. Thanks for the insight. Like, you see, like some people, like for them this works. For me, I can't. Like I remember when I was still early in my days of learning how to trade and going through like certain mentors and stuff. Like some of the concepts I used to like today were practically some of the stuff I earned early on, but like midway through my learning, I guess my main learning experience, there were certain philosophies where instead of looking to be trading like this, like let's say catching a low, right? Catching a low like this, the philosophy turned to trading breakouts. And this really screwed with my mind. It really, really did. And in fact, it put me back a couple months and I had to just rewire my brain during the learning stage to go back to what I initially was working for me, because this was just, this type of trading in general was just the breakout trading, the the continuation trading was just not for me. Generally speaking, I was not a fan of it. I was just not a fan of it. Sometimes, yeah, there are like the easiest breakouts ever. And you just do it because you have like that experience or something, right? Or like, you just know it's a good opportunity. But in general, I like the reversals. I like seeing how structure shifts on a lower time frame, and then we get in on a small entry, and then right, like for you guys that were just here, literally like even like 15 minutes ago, we talked about how I'm re-entering somewhere like down here. Right? I'm re-entering somewhere down here because I had a feeling that we are actually breaking up, right? So I prefer this than actually waiting for a lot of confirmation to like potentially break out of this zone, like waiting for a close above this maybe. Like no, I'm not a big fan of that. Wait, we could create a highlight clip. Let's see this. It just shows like the last whatever. Damn. So if I was more mainstream, if I was more mainstream and I was like, yo guys, super hype guys, and I was like, oh my gosh, look at this trade, and I do some insane fake reaction, I could just clip myself right after. I think this season will be AI and meme. Yeah, I think it's gonna be multiple things. I think real world assets, obviously. I mean, that's happening a little bit earlier now. That's obviously happening a little bit earlier, but I still think there's a lot of room for that. And then obviously meme coins, obviously AI, gaming I'm still a little iffy about because that was literally like the last thing that pumped last cycle. So I'm mainly staying away from gaming. And I actually did find out recently, I actually watched, so you can see probably, all right, and not a lot of you guys watched it, but that's why I started to upload more. I started to upload more videos. I'm trying to create 5 a day instead of like just 3. I'm trying to reach out to other coins, right? I'm trying to reach out to other people that look at other coins, other audiences. But we can see we actually did an XRP video, right? Only 200 views. But I actually did do an XRP video months ago. Right, this is when the thumbnails were way worse too. I didn't have a set background. Yeah, but I actually listened to one of my own XRP videos recently. That was created. Was it this one? I don't remember which one it was. Or this one? No, not 10 months ago. 10 months ago is, that's going to be roughly August. It was this one. I'm pretty sure I was saying how I expect this coin to blow up soon. And then this video here reminded me, I was like, wait, on another exchange, I actually do hold XRP. Because I'm on multiple exchanges for certain holdings. I still have my like key and stuff, obviously, but for XRP, I never transferred it. And I was like, wait, this is such a pleasant surprise. You know, whatever money I did put in here, I'm practically up like nothing crazy right now, but like let's say 4x or something. Is this the live you review other traders? Nah, it's you know what? It's too late to do that, I think. If I am gonna do that, we will dedicate it from the start because we're already live 51 minutes. I still plan on doing it. I am leaving for Austin on the 18th, and 17th I won't be streaming because I'm already gonna. Actually, on 17th I might still stream a little bit though. 17th I still might stream a little bit, but you know, will definitely happen before the 16th. I do want to do it. I do want to start it earlier though. We might have to start like at 6:30, and because you know, the going through the YouTuber stuff, that might take some time, right? That might take some time. Let's see, like if we do crypto, right? Actually giving like people a fair chance. Like I know people say they don't like crypto banter, right? People are not a big fan of crypto banter from what I hear. Yeah, I'm going to Austin, Texas for a week. Right, I heard a lot of people like, thing is, he's 1.1 million subs. Okay, still decent likes. Ron is bullish. Why does Ron refuse to talk about banter bags? Fraud, needs to be sued for that. This guy just shills. Damn. I haven't clicked on this guy's video in like a year, right? I did watch one time, but I just like, he's just kind of like not giving me anything. And then over the course of the year, I've been hearing more and more that people are not so keen of him.
From saying definitely is because we're still waiting for quantitative easing, and until then, you really can't be sure. But once E starts going up, what you do know is that the Bitcoin dominance will start dropping. And when the Bitcoin dominance actually starts dropping, that is effectively the beginning of the real alt season. So you kind of want...
Okay, well, okay. Well, obviously, we'll go through this again. But clearly what he just said, like, is true, though. Right, once alt pretty much starts dying down, or Bitcoin dominance starts breaking out, that's when, like, the true altcoin season is going to be happening. Oh, this is good. This is looking good for my trades right now. That's what we love to see. Come on, mate. Hit that. Wait, what? What is Bitcoin's all-time high, actually? Wait. Hit 112K. And I'll kiss Bitcoin on a cheek. I just need you to go up 2 more K. Just 2 more. Just 2 more K. And we should be chilling. We should genuinely be chilling. AK, oops. Oops, if you just heard what I just said, it's yeah, it's funny. Yeah, just a little bit over 112. Right? Which would be, oh, this is perfect. This is just sweep it by like $500. No one will be upset. No one will be upset. In fact, if we start breaking out from this, wait, we can even look at the closing. I mean, the closing right here, this is the last relevant closing, right? And when we look at it, it's literally kind of lined up perfectly. So I actually do think like the next range Right, I don't really use this type of trading stuff, but next relevant range once we do break from this green zone is practically 112k. So this is what I need. This is what I need. Dollars, all I need. Do. But yeah, I think that is it, ladies and gentlemen. You know, today was just more of a Bitcoin day. Today is more of like a Bitcoin day, more of just like I said, more Bitcoin, a little bit of news, a little bit of just talking. We will definitely be doing a heavy altcoin stream soon. We'll also be doing a heavy investigation stream on who is the most, who are some of the most valuable YouTubers out there. From what I've seen, which I still haven't seen a lot, is will Turbo move up? Yes. Turbo will 100% move up. See, here's the thing: the dominance is kind of dying, but the total market cap is rising. So this could be a start of the shift, which I would still prefer Bitcoin to go to like 120, like 130 to 140k, and then we shift, because then altcoin season would be bigger. If I have to wait an extra month or two, I would wait, but that's okay. We still don't have the confirmation technically, right? We've seen it before where, you know, things look like they break, but they're just actually doing a bigger pullback. Look, man, not a financial advisor and stuff, and at the end of the day, you know, depends what you're looking for. Turbo has way higher potential. If you're talking about gains, like Turbo, like Doge is like a safe 5x. Actually, 5x might be even a little bit too much, right? Because people think it might hit $1, but even if it does hit $1, that's, you're talking about 5x. Turbo's potential is much higher than a 5x. Like if we're talking about like a realistic, not super moon boy, like it's at least gonna be like that 9 to 13x area, like at least, in my opinion. So it's really up to you, but you are sacrificing technically a little bit safety. You think Dogecoin is gonna hit 60 billion market cap? Let's see. Well, 2.5x is taking out these highs, which I 100% see happening. We do have an institutional candle at 51 cents. See, my thing is, I still think it would take out the highs. I still think you could personally get almost a 4x for it. But that is just my philosophy on trading. All right, we have this institutional area. And then we have the liquidity sweep at 74 cents. Get Turbo and Robinhood. I got my money ready. I don't have influence. I'd pump all of our coins 100x right now. And the thing is, we won't even destroy the markets. That's funny because, you know. Boom, boom, come on. I just need to, once we start breaking out of this range, this zone, start closing above this green box, we are chilling. My trade was gonna, it's gonna cover. I think everything about Ondo. I was thinking to sell XCN after the pump and enter Turbo or Ondo at the end of the July. Yeah, there's CPI data tomorrow. I haven't even looked at any of the actual news, but I do think, yeah, I haven't even looked at it. That's something I have to look at too. See, XDC is up. Yeah, XDC is recovering. 300. Yeah. See? Yeah, we're looking good. Come on, boys. Let's see. I need to see how Bitcoin reacts from these two zones. Because I think, you know, even if on the short term it does pull back, I still think it'll take out this and this. So for my trade, right, we still have $600 range to go up, which is a good amount for me, actually. Like, I got in on very small scale. Lots of longs building on bucking at 107K. What, down here? You know, like one of my longer term positions missed by like a $5 spread. It was literally this. Like my thing on MT4 was like this. Like I literally did not get tapped into Bitcoin by like $5, $5 to $10 spread. And I was like, wow. Because this trade was a little bit, it was like a wider one. It was more just like long term, but it was practically something like this. It's practically something like this. So we would have already been up a safe, yeah, 2.5 times. Because this is the one I was gonna hold to 120K. Look at that. That's so annoying. That is so annoying. I literally buy a hair. And I was just gonna ride or die with this one. I said, this is gonna be my entry. And once we start bursting up, I'm gonna put a break even. And because I'm following the data, right? Obviously, like you could debate that it could have been even a better ratio, but making 1 to 7.5, right? Even if I just decided to cash out earlier, right? At 1 to 5, 1 to 6. Yeah, but this was the plan, to hold to 120K and literally by a damn hair. Coin glass liquidation chart shows. What is, I don't know what that is. I don't really follow like these you know me. I'm more of like a technical analysis. I've been following the liquidity more. I'm like break of structure, liquidity sweep type guy. Okay. Listen. We will continue tomorrow. We'll probably do one longer tomorrow. We're going to cover altcoins. I'm going to have some things prepared. I don't know when. If tomorrow is a slow day, then we might do a little bit of altcoins first, and then we might go right into the YouTubers, right? We might have to see on, we might have to see which YouTubers are going to be, you know, worth listening to. I can tell you right away off the top of my head, probably like 60% of them, even up to 70, are going to be either trash or mediocre. And I say, oh, hey, look, guys, look, I think it's going to go up. I think it's going to go up. But that's because they see hindsight move, right? Or hindsight moves. Which is like, these are the most dangerous types of people, to be honest. Because people that just literally only report what's in front of them, they're going to report what's in front of them when altcoin season's happening. And people that are new and don't understand any better, they're going to get wrecked. Will you make any videos in the future teaching on how you make the analysis? Sorry. Maybe a little bit. I don't think, the thing is, not many people are interested, and the ones that are interested, they just usually join the Discord or just buy the course to get absolutely like all the information they ever need. And then because they're very curious about actually learning to trade properly. I could try some content here and there, but it's one of those things that even like one video won't explain. Like I can explain like simple trend lines. I don't mind doing a trend line video or something. But yeah, because I use multiple concepts. Wait, technically now the new daily opened. So yeah, I use multiple concepts. But in my opinion, I use all the best concepts combined. So I could make a thing. I'm not gonna really do like a whole like tutorial though, because that doesn't really necessarily also hit my target audience. Right, because even like I upload an XRP video, a lot of you guys don't care. I got like less than 200 views, which like I said, the views, 200 views on a video is not gonna like be life or death for me or something. But I'm just saying, like, I'm not blind to seeing what people like and don't like on the channel, right? I can clearly see Turbo consistently gets around 1,000, so clearly I have a lot of Turbo holder videos. Some other ones also get like a couple hundred, also up to 1,000. So there's more demand for that, which obviously is just more worth putting time into that than necessarily, What is the game of all crypto for this year? Cashing out or staying in for next bull run? End game. Oh, definitely cashing out. There's like zero upside. There's like almost zero upside to holding for it the next altcoin season. Unless you will always make more money simply, right? Let me tell you, right? I mean, I got rid of my Bitcoin positions a little bit ago because it just better multipliers than altcoins now at this point. But, right, I got into Bitcoin somewhere down here, right? Because I saw this wick, and then once it started to go, I just got in. Right, so let's say I got in there. Let's say I put 1K. Let's say I put 1K at 25K. Okay, just for simple numbers, right? By the time it hits 100K, I'm up 4K. Even if it hits 200K, I'm up 8K. But if we go up to 200K, and then we cycle all the way back down to, let's just say 75, doesn't matter, right? Somewhere down here, because there's a lot of like support and resistance, right? So let's say we do go back here, and then eventually we go up to maybe, let's just say 400K. Okay. This 1K would be what, 16K by then, but that would be what, like a cycle later. Like if I bought into 2013 like I did, this whole cycle plays out, and then we have to wait another couple more years. Then I'm waiting, let's just say a decade to make 16 times. But if I take this 1K, cash out near the top, let's say even like for 150, right? So I make 6 times my money, and I put the 6K in here, and then the 6K multiplies by a couple amount, like let's say even times 5, right? Then I am going to make 30K. So I made like almost double. And this is just off of Bitcoin, right? This is just off of Bitcoin. It's not even swapping to altcoins. It's not even swapping to anything else. And you still also have that stress of seeing everything go down, just dealing with all that. So not a big fan of holding through cycles. And if you're talking about altcoins, your altcoins right now are never promised. Thank you, man, for your videos. I'm looking forward to them. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thoughts on ETH? Yeah, ETH is gonna explode. ETH is about to break out. And where is it? Oh, I forgot, I don't have it here. My potential. Oh, my crypto wallet. ETH. Yeah, for me, once we break out from here, especially like once we kind of break out of 2850, the next zone we're flying to is like 3200. So yeah, 3200 ETH within the next 2 weeks, in my opinion. But yeah, that is it, ladies and gentlemen. I have to go. We'll do a Pack-a-Punch stream tomorrow, and on Thursday we'll also review which YouTubers are worth listening to, and then we'll actually do an official tier list for the YouTube channel after that. So yeah, that is, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you guys did enjoy. Ladies and gentlemen, I'll tell you guys.